What are we going to do about membership promotion? Are we going to record one you just tack on at the end?
We always talk about eating the rainbow, and just in this table, on this table right here, there is a rainbow full of potatoes.
Right. Who knew, right? That the potatoes came in so many varieties. Potatoes have been around for a long time. They originated in the Andes in South America. And there's actually over 4,000 different kinds of potatoes,
I know,
right?
I didn't know that.
Now, the ones that you commonly see in the store are things like russet potatoes, the yellow or golden potatoes, white potatoes. One of my favorites, purple potatoes, and red potatoes. Again, but they do in fact come in many colors of the rainbow.
So why should we be eating them?
Well, potatoes have a ton of health benefits, right? So they're actually a great source of vitamin C, vitamin B6, manganese. One of the more important nutrients in potatoes is potassium. And we need potassium to help lower our blood pressure.
Right.
And most people, when they think about high potassium foods, they think about bananas. Right?
All the time.
So a banana has about 400 milligrams of potassium. A cup of potatoes, 1,000 milligrams of potassium. So much bigger bang for your buck, especially if you're trying to attain and maintain a healthy blood pressure. We also know that there's tons of antioxidants, flavonoids, and carotenoids. The carotenoids are some of the pigments that give the yellow color here, or the red color, the purple color. Those are all highly anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, like I said. They also, it's interesting, some people are concerned about potatoes, especially like the white potatoes or the russet potatoes, that it may spike their blood sugars. And in fact, they do have a little bit higher glycemic index. And that's what the glycemic index is, the propensity of a given food to spike your blood sugars and trigger insulin release. But it turns out when you cook these potatoes and then you chill them afterwards, some of that starch, which was spiking your blood sugar before, turns into what's called resistant starch.
Yeah.
So it actually can help not only lower your blood sugar, but also help control weight. Resistant starch has been shown to help depress appetite. They also, by the way, have a ton of water and a ton of fiber, which can also help you feel full. So actually, a good way to help control weight.
So I love that eating potatoes can help you lose weight.
That's right.
That's my first takeaway.
There we go.
And I did notice that we're missing sweet potatoes.
Well, so sweet potatoes, even though they're called potatoes, are actually a completely different plant. These are all in the Nightshade family, potatoes. Sweet potatoes are actually in the morning glory family, right? With the beautiful flowers you see.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different thing. There's some historical reasons why they got named, which potatoes, which I won't get into, but a completely different plant.
So we'll have to do a show on sweet potatoes.
We will.
Okay. All right. So you mentioned nightshades. Should we be concerned?
Well, a lot of people, are concerned about nightshades, and in fact, the family of nightshades, plants and vegetables, such as potatoes, they do have a compound called solanine, and solanine can be toxic in high levels. So you certainly want to avoid eating the leaves and the stems of potatoes. They have very high levels of solanine. When we expose potatoes to light over a prolonged period of time and they start to turn green, that also indicates that the solanine content may have gone up a little bit. So you want to be careful about eating green potatoes. However, for the vast majority of people have absolutely no issues with nightshade vegetables and potatoes in particular. Now, there are a few conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and some inflammatory bowel diseases like Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, things like that, where people may have a sensitivity to nightshades. And if we're worried about that, what we typically do is put people on an elimination diet and take the nightshades out and see if their symptoms improve. And if they do get better, then that very small population of people may need to avoid them.
Okay, so second takeaway of the day, don't eat green potatoes.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay, so how we prepare them, or how I prepare them usually, will it make a difference? Will it make it in the health benefits?
It does. We kind of already talked about cooking and then chilling the white potatoes to create that resistant starch. We also know that leaving the skin on, the skin has most of the fiber. It has the antioxidants, especially these darker skinned potatoes. That's important. Also, how you prepare the potatoes. You really want to be careful about deep frying potatoes. Air frying is fine. But deep frying potatoes, that does create a compound called acrylamides. That's a class which have been shown to cause cancer, to be carcinogenic.
Yeah, well, that's no fun.
Yeah. So my question to you is, each of these potatoes, has different culinary uses, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little about that.
Okay, so we'll start down here. The russet potato, the most popular because it's nice and fluffy. It's very high in starch. We want to make French fries out of these, right?
Right.
Yeah. So then
Or baked potatoes.
Or baked
too.
potatoes
Yeah,
also.
too.
Yeah. Then we have the yellow potato. And it's going to be probably a moderate amount of starch, and it's going to be kind of buttery. And it's really great for roasting and mashing. What I love to do with these, especially the smaller ones, is put them down on a parchment-lined baking sheet. And usually I'll boil them first, parboil them, and then smash them with like the back of a jar. Yeah, that is fantastic for these.
Sounds good.
Then we have the white potatoes, and they're close to these guys. They're going to also have a medium amount of starch in them. They're slightly creamy, a little bit less fluffy, and these are going to be great for, like I put these in soups and stews, so because they won't dissolve, they'll keep, but they'll also get a little, they'll soften as well.
Right, sure.
So they'll keep their shape. These.
Yeah, some
we
of
love
my
our
favorites.
deep dark colors, don't we? Yeah, and actually, I'm going to, hold on. We're going to do a little show and tell.
Yeah.
We're already on a butcher block.
Yeah.
So these potatoes, the purple potatoes, are going to be a little waxy, very low starch content.
Right.
They are going to keep their shape and their texture. So what I can do, I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to cut right.
Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous?
It is beautiful. It keeps that dark, rich color all the way
So it's not
through.
not just purple potatoes because of the skin. The potato itself is actually purple. And again, these are probably the most healthy because in general, the darker a food is, the more antioxidants that it has.
Yeah,
so that's
and actually,
amazing.
I've learned so much about dark potatoes from our friend Dr. Scott Stoll.
Right.
From the Plantation Project, and these are his favorite potatoes too.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have the red potato, red skin. It's going to have a pretty low starch content, just like our purple potatoes, and it's going to have a waxy texture, and it is also going to really keep its shape.
Right.
So now I know what you're going to ask.
Right. New potatoes, right? You hear that term and you see them sometimes. So what is a new potato?
A new potato is just it's new for the season. It is harvested very early, spring, summertime, and it has a nice, really sweet flavor because it's so young.
Right, so the sugar hasn't been used up to make the plant.
Right,
exactly. Oh,
yeah.
interesting, instantly. So, tell us what we're going to do today. How are we going to get some of these potatoes in our bellies?
So, easy enough, actually. This is going to be a really simple recipe. We're going to use a few of the different potatoes here that you see, and I'm going to maybe help our appetites. Also, we can control our appetites a little bit. We're going to use a little bit of that resistant starch in this recipe.
Can't wait.
Let's get cooking. Okay, I'm going to build you a powerhouse potato salad. I mean, seriously, I know.
do it.
So we're using all of the potatoes except for the russets. And we have parsley and dill, yum. A little bit of celery and red onion and my favorite, capers.
Right.
So let me mix this up. Oh, and we have the mayo that I made.
Right.
So I'm going to mix this up, and using resistant starch.
That's right, because we cooked these yesterday.
Right.
And let them sit overnight.
Yes,
right?
yes.
All right.
Okay, so let me get started here. All right, so our nicely chilled potatoes. It's going to be so pretty. And a powerhouse because of the resistant starch, and we have a lot of colors going on here. So purple from our onions, green from our celery. That's going to add a really nice texture, nice crunch. We've got a couple herbs here. Parsley, Italian parsley, and beautiful, beautiful fresh dill. Love that dill. That always gives it a nice pop too. Speaking of pop, love capers. Not too many, just enough. Okay, I'm gonna toss everything around in there. And the potatoes have, you know, of course, there's a little bit of moisture on the potatoes, so all of these ingredients will stick to them. Now the mayo, you can use as little or as much as you want. Totally up to you how creamy you want this. And the recipe is in the show notes. And in that mayo, I have a little bit of apple cider vinegar and some Dijon mustard, just to give it even a little bit more of a kick. So it's going to be kind of kicky, very nutrient dense, and it will fulfill our appetite for many hours to come. All right, doesn't this look great?
All right, I can't wait to try it. And you know, the other thing that's amazing is that you know the mayo is completely oil-free, right?
Yeah, it is.
There's no oil, there's no egg.
Nope.
It's all plant-based. That's amazing. Silken tofu, right? Isn't that the base?
Silken tofu and some cashews. Yeah.
Oh, wow, can't wait. Oh, that looks so good.
Okay. And because the potatoes have already been, I mean, this will be probably a little bit better in an hour or so after it's in the fridge, but the potatoes are already chilled down.
For you.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Let's give it a shot. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh yeah. I mean, all the flavors, right?
It's a dill, you know?
Yeah, and if you want to
Wow.
lower your blood pressure, all the potassium.
That's exactly right.
I mean, I love that you said that, you know?
Yeah. People don't realize, right?
Right. I mean, and that's actually where I knew that, but it really drove home the message when we had that membership call, the group call with the members. We have a lot of members who have high blood pressure, and you say, "Hey, listen. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do about it, but really, the number one thing that you can do is start adding in more potassium to your diet,
exactly right.
and that'll start to help control that high blood pressure. Love it. But this. You can take it on picnics, make it
This would be
once,
the
eat it
star
all.
of 4th of July, right?
Yeah, right.
So,
Make it once, eat it all week. So yeah, this is a good one, huh?
all right.
See you next time.
See you next time. If you enjoyed this episode, we would love for you to join our community by becoming a member.
And that includes monthly interactive cooking classes, access to our full library of past classes, which is the video and all of the recipes, and a monthly support call.
And once a quarter, I join for an Ask the Doc session. So become a member today.